Hey everyone, I'm Jake from Jake on Media, and today we'll be reviewing the Zoom H1N Handy Recorder. First, I'd like to state a quick disclaimer, and I have it here on my phone. I'm not an audio professional. This review is just based on my experience from using this product. Some of the specs I will list off I don't actually understand, and I really only know the basic features of this microphone. Now with that out of the way, I bought this thing about 2 years ago, and it's the 2018 version, so it's the newer one. And it's a really great sound recorder and microphone for beginners. It's good for beginners because it has a lot of beginner features and it's very user friendly. And it's great for multiple types of audio recording, which makes it super versatile. Now let's jump into the specs. Starting off are the simultaneous playback and recording tracks. This thing has 2 of them. What that means is that when you're recording on here, you'll see 2 tracks, a left track and a right track, and you'll see the same thing when you're playing it back on here. Next, we have the list of functions of the Zoom H1N, and there's a lot of them. There's a low-cut filter, which removes low frequencies from the audio, a limiter, which will stop the mic from peaking, a test tone, which is a tone that plays at a constant noise level, a slate tone, which mixes a low-frequency tone in with the microphone signal to help make locating the start of each take much easier, a voice emphasis filter, which emphasizes the volume of your voice, playback position skipping, which allows you to skip through your recordings, playback speed control, which allows you to control the playback speed, A-B repeat, which enables playback to a specific section repeatedly by setting the start point A and the end point B for the section, an auto record level, which sets an automatic gain level for recording, a marker, which allows you to place a marker on the timeline, auto record, which will automatically start recording when activated, pre-record, which will start recording 5 seconds before the button is pressed, self-timer, which will start the recording once the time you set gets to 1, and overdubbing, which allows you to record over a track that was already recorded. And that's it for the list of functions for the Zoom H1N. Now we have recording formats, and this thing offers a little bit of flexibility here. It records audio in a WAV format in 44.1 kHz at 16-bit, 48 kHz at 16-bit, 48 kHz at 24-bit, and 96 kHz at 24-bit. All a recording format is just a different quality level that you can record your audio at. And the highest quality on the Zoom H1N is 96 kHz at 24-bit. Next we have AD conversion, which I believe is analog to digital conversion. And I'm not really sure what this means, but it says it can do 24-bit at 128 times oversampling. I'm guessing AD conversion is just the quality at which you can convert your analog recording to a digital recording. Now we have DA conversion, which I believe is digital to analog conversion. And it states that this thing can do 24-bit at 128 times oversampling, just like AD conversion. Next we have signal processing, and I don't know what this is either, but it says that it can do 32-bit. Next we have recording media, and this thing can take a micro SD or a micro SD HC card, which is class 4 or higher, and up to 32 gigabytes. Next we have the display screen, and this is a 1.25 inch monochrome LCD. Next we have the built-in stereo mic, and there's 2 unidirectional condenser microphones up at the top, and they are in a 90-degree XY stereo format. Then we have the gain of the built-in stereo mic, and it goes from negative infinity decibels to plus 39 decibel milliwatts. Right after that we have maximum sound pressure level, and it can capture sound at up to 120 decibels. Then we have the inputs on here, and it has a 1/8 inch stereo phone jack. The rated input level for that is minus infinity decibels to plus 39 decibel milliwatts. Along with that, we have input impedance or impedance. I don't know how you're supposed to say that word, but it can do up to 2 kilo ohms. And then plug-in power is supported by this, and it can do up to 2.5 volts. After that, we have the built-in speaker, and it has a built-in 500 medium wave mono speaker, and then the output impedance is 8 ohms. Moving on from that, we have outputs, and this has a 1/8 inch stereo phone jack, and the rated output level for this is 20 medium wave plus 20 medium wave into a 32 ohm load. And along with that, we have output impedance, which is 10 kilo ohms or more. Next we have USB, and this has a micro USB port right on the side. And again, I don't know what this next spec is, but it says mass storage class operation, USB 2.0 high speed. And then there's an audio interface operation, which is 44.1 kilohertz or 48 kilohertz for the sampling rate, and then 16 for the bit depth. And then it just says 2 in/2 out, which I don't know what that means. And then it says the transfer method is asynchronous, which again, I don't know what that means. Next we have power requirements, and the Zoom H1N takes 2 AAA batteries. You can also use an AC adapter, which is called the Zoom AD17, which is a DC 5V/1A. Moving on, we have battery life, and on Zoom's website it says that the Zoom H1N can do approximately 10 hours. Next we have dimensions, and this is 1.9 inches by 5.4 inches by 1.2 inches, and the equivalent of that is 50 millimeters by 137.5 millimeters by 32 millimeters. Then we have weight, and this is the weight without the batteries in this, and it comes in weighing at 0.13 pounds or 60 grams. Finally, we have price, and the most recent price I could find was $99.99 on both Amazon and B&H. Alright, that's it for the specs. Now let's move on to the pros and cons, starting off with the pros. To kick it off, I think this is a great beginner mic. When I first got it, I didn't know much about audio at all, and this is very user-friendly and easy to use. The next pro is that this is a very good price. At only $100, I think this is one of the best value for your money microphones that you can get. Some mics out there can cost you a crap ton and only really have one function, but this is really affordable, and I think it has a lot of functions. For example, I've used this thing to record sound effects, ambient noise, white noise. I've used it for YouTube videos just like this. There's a lot of things you can do with this microphone. Moving on, this has a lot of features built into it. You heard me list off all of the functions in the specs category that this can do, so that just proves how many features it holds. The next pro, but it's also a con, is that it doesn't require phantom power, so you don't have to have a bunch of big cables and a bunch of fancy technology to lug around with you. Instead, you just need 2 AAA batteries to capture some decent sound quality. However, it's also a con because phantom power really bumps up your audio quality to the next level. Another pro of this thing is that it's super lightweight and portable. The small size of it makes it super easy to carry around with you just about anywhere. I can fit it in my pocket, and I've done that before, so it's very easy to carry around with you. Moving on, the next pro is that it allows plenty of different recording formats. In my opinion, it's pretty cool that you can choose from 44.1, 48, or 96 kilohertz at 16 or 24-bit. Because depending on your situation, you might want to use a different recording format. So it's just nice to have all those options. And my final pro on this list is that you can record to this sound recorder via another microphone. The problem with most microphones is that you can't record directly to the microphone. You have to record from the microphone to some sort of storage device, but this has its own storage device built in, so you could take a lavalier microphone and plug it into the line in on the side of this, and then record from that microphone to this. So then the Zoom H1N is going to be storing your audio from your lavalier microphone. Alright, that's it for the pros. Now let's move on to the cons. Starting off, this has really weak build quality in my opinion. It's like almost 100% plastic, so it feels kind of cheap, but I haven't had really any problems with that. I've dropped it a few times and nothing's really ever broken on it. The next con is that the device navigation takes a while to learn. When I first bought this, I didn't really know how to use it, so when I tried to find some of the functions, it made it pretty tough. Another con is that the Zoom H1N takes AAA batteries. It's also a pro because it allows for more portability, but the battery life I find doesn't last as long as 10 hours. I think it's around more the 5-hour mark, so the battery life isn't the best. And the final con is that there's a significant noise difference between 5 and 6 on the gain dial. When you're using the Zoom H1N, I recommend that you go above 5 on the gain dial, because anything below 5 is going to give you a big increase on the noise in your audio. So this mic and sound recorder is really great considering the pros and cons. There's a lot to love about it, and it makes recording audio fun and easy. I think it's one of the best microphones you can get if you're a beginner in the world of audio, and it's perfect for things like recording YouTube videos, podcasting maybe, or even some professional work. This is a very versatile microphone and it works for just about anything you can throw at it. So for my 5-star rating on the Zoom H1N, I will give it 4 out of 5 stars, but only for those that are budgeting for this type of microphone, or in other words, beginners. Also, if you'd like to check out the Zoom H1N, I'm going to link it down below. I'll put both the Amazon and B&H links down there. Anyways, that's going to wrap up this review. If you enjoyed watching this video and would like to see more just like this, subscribe by clicking right here. Thanks for watching, and always remember to capture great moments.